Okay, meanwhile, I am just going to have to quickly set up Revlo, or I'm going to be lynched for not having any betting going on. First by chat and then by Heartless.
Exactly. I can imagine playoffs is going to be.
Life, eh?
Yeah.
Who'd ever volunteer for this shit?
Also with the playoffs as well, you know, I'm sure a lot of people have a lot of money riding on this. Well, you know, Revlo points, I should say.
Indeed, almost more important than money.
Almost more important, exactly.
Okay, there we go. So the betting is up.
Right, so I assume
teams are given some banter about Murky. Looks like Natus have gone straight in with a ban on that one.
And to be honest, this is not a troll ban. This is actually a perfectly viable ban.
Yeah.
Murky with the rework, fantastic hero in the lane. He has got some counters. But still, it's a perfectly good ban. And he goes for the Alarak.
It's he's a scary hero at the moment, for sure. Much more so than you'd think.
Yeah. And this is exactly what I'm talking about here. So now we see a hyper focus on the top lane. The solo laner here are like, you know, the two teams establishing themselves on who's going to dominate the solo lane. We see the Murky ban, we see the Alarak ban, a great solo laners, but then we see the Rag pick up. Now the Rag is a fantastic solo laner in his regard. He's got a great push. Most importantly, he's got a great defense if they happen to lose that tribute. However, the Rag is not invulnerable in that lane. Now that they've shown the solo laner early, I feel that Stormstout have some options. They don't have to pick the solo laner straight away. They can draft to pick heroes that, you know, are probably a little bit more like the Sylvanas and the Gul'dan, exactly.
Okay,
what I was referring
That's interesting. To. It's a lot of lane clear, a lot of AOE damage. It's pretty strong pickups. I don't love Sylvanas on the map, but she's definitely okay. And she can, if you do win the objective, she can be insanely powerful.
But the word is if. But the word is if.
Absolutely.
And then that's the issue there. Sylvanas, fantastic if you win the objective. Not so great in winning that objective. She's got you know decent damage. But if you have like a strong tank like Meriden, you couple it with a Zarya or another frontliner, her damage gets negated. So she is pretty much a lame duck in that lane. She doesn't really push it. The only value she will truly get is if they win the street, if they win the chant in that shrine. But we'll see how this plays out. Gul'dan, on the other hand, fantastic pickup.
Yeah, absolutely great. Very good at defensively dealing with the Zerg wave as well. So that's a big plus in his favour. We do see the Jaina ban coming out from Stormstout. Now, I'm not so sure about this. I think I might have preferred a KT possibly as a ban there. I think KT does a little bit better at the wave clear.
But the thing is, it's not too bad of a ban.
Oh no!
If they were to pick Jaina here, at the moment they go a Mouth and a Meriden. Those are two pick heroes. So a stun, a root into a Blizzard will kill the Gul'dan and we'll kill the Sylvanas.
Yeah. I mean, absolutely, Jaina is scary.
But I agree with you. KT ban was definitely the right call because allowed.
Let's be fair to Stormstout. They seem to have done their research. They've obviously banned Alarak as a target ban. And maybe that was the same in terms of Jaina. Maybe Natus are particularly comfortable on the Jaina. So, if that's the case, and they've done their research, then that's definitely a reasonable line to follow.
Exactly. And as I said before, Stormstout don't need to pick the solo laner right now. They should be putting a lot more focus on that bot lane. They need control of that bot lane.
So you're thinking a tank and a support for the bottom lane?
I think so.
That's what they've gone for. I like it. I like it a lot. I think their comp is very strong so far.
But here's the issue here, Bayers. One of the things that teams fall into the trap of when they're picking ETC is, and ETC, he's a unique hero. He is very strong. I give you that. But he's only strong as, in comparison to the rest of his team. If they haven't got a pick comp, the ETC power slide becomes nigh on useless. Because what you want is a power slide into a CC chain, which allows you to isolate the target and then follow through CC and damage. The problem is they haven't got that CC chain. All they've got at the moment is a Gul'dan and a Sylvanas. They have damage over time. Damage.
I mean, you're absolutely right. That is one way to utilize the ETC, but he can just be used as a very strong tank and peel tank for the Morales. So although they don't have the stun follow-up, you don't need that for ETC to have value. If ETC can keep your Morales alive, and therefore your Morales can keep your Gul'dan alive, you know, you can get use out of it that way and just use the sustained damage from both Gul'dan and Sylvanas.
In either case, a lot is riding on this ETC. The ETC's positioning has to be flawless.
For sure.
If he gets out of position, the Natus has the tools to basically punish him hard for it. So we'll see. It's all riding on this ETC, so no pressure on him or her.
Yeah, so we do see the Greymane picked up here from Natus. Very aggressive choice, going for a second. Well, I mean, I suppose he's half and half ranged in melee, isn't he? But kind of a second melee assassin option there.
But most importantly, just see the damage. So there are two types of damage in this game. There's the AoE, slow over time damage that you see from the Gul'dan and the Sylvanas, but then you get the high burst damage that's you know, from Kel'Thas and Greymane. Now, Malfurion react is pretty good healer to react when we see a Tyrael. That makes sense. Does it?
It's going to be their solo. I don't hate Tyrael solo. He doesn't win many matchups, but he doesn't lose them quickly either. So as long as you're okay with that, that can work. And I think they dominate the 4-man here. In all seriousness, I think the early game.
You honestly think so? I'm
Morales
going the other way.
Morales is too strong, man. And it's going to be very difficult for Natus to actually apply pressure to Morales properly.
The problem is he's not applying pressure to the Morales. He's targeting the type of healing that the Morales does. Morales does heal over time. If they're able to get a burst down with the Greymane, with the Muradin, the Kel'Thas, and the Malfurion rooting, I don't think the Morales is able to heal all of that damage.
Safeguard into healing beam is kind of insane burst healing, man. Like I've played around with quite a lot of Morales on this map because when you don't need to rotate and put her in a vulnerable position, she is hands down the most powerful early game healer by miles. And I think I like what they've done for their 4-man. I still wouldn't put high odds on them winning the game. Don't get me wrong. But I do like what they've done with their draft. I think that's
fair enough. And that's fair enough. I feel like, you know, those are valid points. And, you know, I think there's only one way to prove that. Let's see what they do with it.
Yeah, absolutely. So we're into the game. On the left in blue, we do have Natus Dominari. We have got Frydod on the Greymane, Aradeval on Kel'Thas, Du Bedman on Ragnaros, Hockey Jedi on Malf, and Shensha on Muradin.
And on the right-hand side, for Stormstout's Brewery, we've got Sif for Sura on Tyrael. We have got Velox on Gul'dan, Heavy on Morales, Snow on Sylvanas, and Frey on the ETC.
Indeed. We do see Natus as a 5-man sort of sharking around in the middle of the map here, looking to see whether they can pick anybody off. Doesn't look like Stormstout are going to bite. They are being very cautious. They are just sitting back safely at their wall.
Yeah. So it's pretty standard. It's like, you know, just double check. Nothing's going to really happen for the first, you know, 30 seconds of the game. So it doesn't hurt. So you just set up a gank.
Oh, absolutely. And, you know, I think also, I would say from the Stormstout side, they were very sensible not to take any risks.
Exactly.
Ooh, Roots and Flame Strike coming down. Quite a lot of damage on the Sylve, but Morales is going to be able to cope with that just fine.
So this is a war of mana attrition. This is a war of mana. Who is going to run out of mana first? So is it? Like we see the Tyrael. The Tyrael is not faring too well at the top at the moment. Pretty low. The Ragnaros only gets hard. Well, gets stronger and stronger and heals up. That Tyrael is going to struggle, and this is exactly what I was talking about, Bayes, is that solo lane will dictate where that early game is won. Because, well, we see a power slide on the Murden. Would he get out? Yes, he does.
Does get the jump out of there. So Dwarf Toss will keep him safe. Morales doing a decent job, or a reasonably decent job of managing a mana. Still on about half at this stage, but definitely it looks like Mouth's tapped actually. So that means Morales is actually ahead in that sort of fight.
Yeah.
A lot of damage going on to ETC, but again, that Morales is just going to keep him fine.
Exactly.
And they are winning this bottom beacon for the time being.
For the time being, but it's the top they should be concerned about, because Tyrio has no mana and has no health, and the fact that Ragnaros is not even taking the shrine means that he is quite confident in this lane, and we see the Sylvanas going up, and this is where now we get
Tyrael has tapped already.
And this is where now we get the shrine control, because Tyrio has to tap, has to base, and
therefore
the solo laner.
We've got actually a 2v4 situation down here in bot. Not sure why they started that fight. They knew they were men down. That is unfortunate.
But this is the nature of this map. You don't win the solo lane, they have to react to it. Otherwise the towers get pushed. But so what they need to do, if they react to it, they have to then ensure the bot lane, they don't lose any kills. But it's so difficult to coordinate those things. And as we can see, ETC going down, that takes the rhythm away from Stormstout's Brewery. I just hope they're able to recompose and get back to the 4-man rotation and see if they can get that bot lane back.
So we do see them closing off this bottom beacon. It's still only 54% captured for Natus Dominari here. So definitely it's not quite over yet, but we do see the roots locking down the ETC and then the Morales. They are currently holding this point. Muradin diving in on the Sylvanas, but he's running very low, and looks like he will get out due to the tap. But Greymane also, they are going to just have to concede this bottom lane for the time being. I'd like to see somebody from Stormstout rotate up top, try and get some percentage charge on the beacons.
The issue with that is it's too long of a journey to go up there. And if they do, and it's too long of a journey to come down, they'll lose the bottom. What they should be doing, Stormstout Brewery now, is if they got a numbers game, use the Sylvanas. You got the Sylvanas for a reason, push those towers.
Yeah, sure. And that, I mean, that is what they're doing, so that is good for them. Do see a lot of damage onto the ETC, but Morales is going to be able to keep him alive. Morales taking a lot of damage as well.
And Tyrael is basing one more time.
Oh dear. Yeah, that is the Zerg wave over to Natus Dominari, 100% to 0. Yeah, to 0.
Yep. Just about. They go a little bit.
So, we're going to see the standard 6 pool in the top lane, whilst the full might of the Zerg swarm pushes in against Stormstout in the bottom here.
Yep, and this could be a fort.
It could if they lose anybody, certainly. Cooldown falling very low.
Oh, great power slide.
Power slide was lovely, and the corruption there landing a lot of damage back onto Natus. Now got Morales back in the fray to heal Gul'dan up.
And it's a re-engage.
Mouth really nearly dying to the Gul'dan damage there. We do see very standard builds, kind of across the board here.
And great defense by Stormstout. I would like to say, kind of Natus didn't coordinate that push correctly. They wanted to go for the Gul'dan push, and as a result, they kind of forwent getting the forts.
Absolutely.
But nonetheless, Stormstout were able to defend, keep their forts, and keep themselves within the same levels. That could turn though.
It could. Something we do need to keep an eye on is Kael'thas, currently at 16 convection stacks. So if a kill can go down onto him, that's 17. If a kill can go down onto him at this juncture, that could have a massive impact
Exactly.
for Stormstout. Might be tricky for them to achieve that.
And there it goes. There goes
That
another
is
sales tax.
19 stacks on that KT right there. Going to be very difficult to stop that. Now, whilst we do see down bottom the defense, even against the full Zerg Swarm, was pretty successful. Meanwhile, this 1v1 up top here is still just not going well for Tyrael
at all.
He is really struggling to stay up, and oh dear, did miss that. We saw ETC
the ETC
falling.
going down, but then that's what happens is, you know, as soon as one guy goes top, you have numbers disadvantage at the bottom, and Natus are doing what they should be doing. As soon as you see
sort of, they shouldn't have allowed their solo lane to die to that game.
Oh well, yes, that I missed. They should have communicated that.
But yeah, generally speaking, you're absolutely right. The rotation top prompted them to put a lot of pressure on the bot lane. They did finish off that fort, which was already pretty low. Beacon's now coming up. Rag obviously is on his way back. We do have 10 already locked in for Natus Dominari, and Stormstout Brewery have only just managed to hit that themselves. So good news for them. They have now caught up on that ultimate talent tier, which is obviously pretty critical.
Especially for that sanctification.
Absolutely.
That could reset a lot of fights.
We do maybe see a fight brewing in the top lane. 5 members of Natus Dominari coming in here, but the
great silence
not here.
Into Sulfura Smash.
Huge Sulfura Smash on the Morales, and that is going to take out Morales and the Tyrael. Looks like Sylvanas will manage to get out. Not sure whether ETC will. Went in to save the Sylvanas, and it's going to cost him his life there. So that is a 3-for-0 kill, using up 3 of the ults there on the side of Natus Dominari. Only 1 ult, the Sylvanas Wailing Arrow triggered for Stormstout there. But we do then see the top fort now being taken down. The beacons are both being channeled by Natus Dominari, and it feels like perhaps they are starting to get a chokehold on this game now. Both forts down. It's much more difficult for Stormstout to contest those beacons. They don't do so. We are going to have another 100% Zerg wave.
Again, complete miss. Oh wow, that's going to save him.
Beautiful, beautiful play there. Medivacs completely saving.
Morales.
He'd be there. But unfortunately, the 5-man mosh, there was no follow-up at all from the team. Sulfura Smash picking off the Sylvanas. Muradin going deep after the Gul'dan, and Greymane is going to finish off that kill. The aggression now from Natus Dominari, they obviously are feeling the victory here. They are going hard. They're committing very aggressively. Ragnaros goes into Molten Core, manages to hit 2 with his Sulfurous Swing. That is a lot of damage going down. ETC getting burst down there. And combination of KT and Ragnaros damage is going to shred through the members of Stormstout Brewery. Tyrael going to sank and is going to survive for a little bit longer there, but that is the core dying. Good game, well played. Game 1 goes to Natus Dominari.